Hello, you are watching News Mongolian MNB World. I'm your host, Khuur. And for our top stories. The order of Chinggis Khan is conferred to the Morin Ensemble. Mongolia's National Pride Day will be celebrated on November 14th. Ambassador of Canada presents her letter of credence to the President of Mongolia. For the news, stay with us. Marking a National Pride Day, the Order of Chinggis Khan is conferred to the distinguished citizens, bands, and organizations of Mongolia who made invaluable contributions to strengthening the independence and sovereignty of Mongolia and the unity of the people. They are promoting the historical and cultural heritages of Mongolia for future generations and the world, and performed great deeds for the state, community, and the nation. This year, the Order of Chinggis Khan is conferred to the Mongolian state Morin Ensemble.
This esteemed award is awarded to state and social dignitaries and citizens of foreign countries for an exceptional contribution towards national unity, prosperity, strengthening the peace of humankind, development of relations, and cooperation established by Mongolia with foreign countries, promoting Mongolia's reputation in the world, and specific involvement towards the economic, social, and intellectual development of the country. The decision to award the Morin Ensemble under the State Philharmony was announced by the Chief of the President's Office, Sotbatar, on Monday, during a press conference held at the State Palace. In 2002, Parliament backed the initiative of the second President of Mongolia, Baghband, and approved Parliamentary Resolution No. 21 to award the Supreme Declaration of the Mongolian State, the Order of Chinggis Khan. The first order was awarded to the first President of Mongolia in 2005, and 14 award ceremonies have been held to date, 12 of which were conferred on individuals, 1 to the Khuur band, and 1 to the General Staff of the Mongolian Armed Forces. The Mongolian State Morin Ensemble was founded in 1992 with the aim to preserve, promote, and transmit the use of the Morin horsehead fiddle, a musical representation of Mongolian history, values, and cultural heritage. The ensemble consists of about 35 professionally trained musicians. The key instrument of the ensemble is the Morin, accompanied by other traditional instruments, such as the cello, bass, ivirbure or horn, yachin or dulcimer, yatak or zither, as well as classical percussion instruments, the flute and piano. The ensemble is able to deliver a wide range of professional, classical, and contemporary music. Their performances have taken place in many prestige performing venues such as NHK Hall, Sydney Opera House, etc.
Mongolia's National Pride Day will be celebrated on November 14th, marking the 861st anniversary of the birth of Chinggis Khan, which falls on the first day of winter according to the Mongolian lunar calendar.
Based on the conclusions of researchers from the Mongolian Academy of Sciences and a working group in charge of determining Chinggis Khan's birthday, a presidential decree was issued on January 9, 2012, officially declaring the day of his birth to be the first day of the first month of winter on the lunar calendar. As the day is determined by the lunar calendar, it's celebrated on different dates each year. When Mongolians enthroned Chinggis Khan as the Khan of the Great Mongol Empire, they raised the 9 white banners, a symbol of great power, independence, and unity for the Mongolian state, and had the Great Khan pay his respects. The country is celebrating National Pride Day as a public holiday for the 11th year.
Ambassador Sandra Shufani of Canada to Mongolia officially presented her letter of credence to President Khuur on November 9, 2023. During the meeting, President Khuur emphasized the significant importance Mongolia places on fostering ties with Canada, considering it a crucial third neighbor. President Khuur underscored the need to further enhance the collaboration between the two nations, particularly in realms of agriculture, environmental protection, and education. Ambassador Sandra Shufani, in her new role, conveyed the greetings of Canada's Governor-General, Mary Simon, to President Khuur. The ambassador expressed her dedication to actively contribute to elevating relations and cooperation across various sectors between Mongolia and Canada to a new echelon. Please take a look at currency exchange rates provided by the Mongol Bank. Please welcome back. You've been with News Mongolia on MNB World. Now here comes foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Chinese President Xi Jinping is set to visit the United States from November 14th to 17th for a pivotal China-US summit and the 30th Economic Leaders meeting. The discussions slated during this historic diplomatic event will focus on crucial issues, shaping bilateral relations and addressing global challenges. President Xi's attendance underscores China's commitment to Asia-Pacific economic cooperation.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is set to make a significant visit to the United States from November 14th to 17th, responding to an invitation for a China-US summit meeting and the 38th Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC Economic Leaders meeting. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson on Friday made remarks on Chinese President Xi Jinping's upcoming trip to the United States upon the invitation for a China-US summit meeting and the 30th APEC Economic Leaders meeting. When asked about China's expectation for the China-US summit meeting, the spokesperson emphasized that at the invitation of US President Joe Biden, President Xi will travel to the United States for a China-US summit meeting and the 30th APEC Economic Leaders meeting. The spokesperson highlighted that the two leaders aim to foster a comprehensive dialogue delving into issues of strategic, overarching, and fundamental importance in shaping China-US relations. Furthermore, they plan to address major global challenges concerning world peace and development, underscoring the significance of collaboration between the two nations. Concerning China's outlook for the 38th APEC Economic Leaders meeting, the spokesperson expressed that on the occasion of the 38th anniversary of APEC's inaugural leaders meeting, President Xi's attendance underscores China's profound commitment to Asia-Pacific economic cooperation. The spokesperson stressed that amid increasing factors of instability and uncertainty in the world economy, there is a collective anticipation for the Asia-Pacific region to continue serving as an economic engine propelling global growth. APEC, being a pivotal platform for economic cooperation in the Asia-Pacific, will witness President Xi delivering a pivotal speech. The speech is expected to comprehensively outline China's key proposals for deepening Asia-Pacific cooperation, fostering regional and global growth. The spokesperson conveyed China's hope for all participating parties to reflect on the shared history that brought countries and regions in the Asia-Pacific together, urging a concentrated focus on the region's pressing needs. The spokesperson called for a deepening of solidarity and cooperation among nations, advocating for a holistic and balanced approach in implementing the APEC Putrajaya Vision 2040. The Chinese side encouraged collaborative efforts to achieve positive outcomes at the meeting, aiming to provide renewed growth momentum for the Asia-Pacific and the broader global community. Ultimately, the spokesperson emphasized the shared goal of constructing an Asia-Pacific community with a shared future.
Protesters gathered in Sydney to show their support for Israel and call for the release of hostages being held by Hamas. Addressing the crowd on Sunday, rally organizer said that they gathered to bring the awareness about the hostages and to put pressure on the Australian government to help release people.
At the demonstration, people waved Israeli flags and held banners which read, "Bring them home." Following Hamas' deadly October 7th attack on Israel, in which at least 1,200 people were killed, Israel's allies have defended the country's right to protect itself. But now, into the second month of war, there are growing differences in how many feel Israel should conduct its fight.
They can have ceasefire today if they release the hostages. That's all they have to do. And there is no reason to give them ceasefire until the hostages are still captives.
We are here today to bring the awareness about the hostage, and our call to action is to put pressure on the Australian government to help release our people.
More than 11,000 Palestinians, two-thirds of them women and minors, have been killed since the war began, according to the Ministry of Health in Hamas-controlled Gaza, which does not differentiate between civilian and militant deaths. The ministry is the only official source for Gaza casualties. In previous wars, the ministry's counts have held up to UN scrutiny, independent investigations, and even Israel's tallies. About 2,700 people have been reported missing and are thought to be possibly trapped or dead under the rubble. At least 1,200 people have been killed in Israel, mainly in the initial Hamas attack, Israeli officials say. The military on Saturday confirmed the deaths of 5 reserve soldiers. 46 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Gaza since the ground offensive began. Nearly 240 people abducted by Hamas group from Israel remain captive.
Japan led an annual multinational naval exercise that included the Philippines as an observer for the first time. As the Filipino Coast Guard vessels are increasingly harassed by China in the disputed South China Sea.
The annual exercises that began Saturday off Japan's coast also included the United States, Australia, and Canada. Their aim is to demonstrate and increase ways to navies can work together and show their presence and commitment to defend a free and open Indo-Pacific, which the allies say is hampered by China's growing ambitions that include sweeping territorial claims. On Saturday, a selected group of journalists, including the Associated Press, flew on a V-22 Osprey aircraft to the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier to observe takeoffs and landings of F-35C Lightning stealth fighters, as well as F-A-18 Super Hornet jets and EA-18 Growlers. The Japanese destroyer Khuur showed its presence next to the carrier.
My thoughts on this are that the vast majority of nations that operate, live, and are in existence in this part of the world have similar, like-minded ideas on what maritime security, what peace and prosperity mean and how we get there. So the more that our navies work together, the more multilateral our operations and our exercises are, the greater the security for this region. So I'm thrilled that Japan invited the Philippines to observe this year. Obviously, the United States has a very strong alliance with a mutual defense treaty with the Philippines. So the more that we get a chance to sail and to train together, the stronger that makes our navies, the better it makes our navies. We all learn from one another.
The exercise comes in the wake of the latest confrontation between the Philippines and China in the South China Sea on Friday, adding to the territorial disputes that risk turning into a more serious armed conflict. The Philippines accused the Chinese Coast Guard ship and accompanying vessels of dangerous maneuvers and blasting a Philippine supply ship with a water cannon, while China defended its action as appropriate. Territorial conflicts in the South China Sea involving China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Brunei have long been regarded as a potential flashpoint and a delicate fault line in the US-China rivalry.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a great day ahead.